don't he sit at his father's or mother's house and see if he will be giving gifts or not, as reported by Al-Bukhari and Muslim. So that gift was actually given to him because of the work. The answer to your specific question depends on four things: the type of work you are doing, whether the tip is given willingly by people or not, authorization of the employer or the business owner, and whether such tips affect your business decisions regarding your workplace or not. The wisdom behind this impermissibility is because it makes workers look forward to it, and they may disrespect the person who does not tip them. Also, because receiving gifts usually leads to favoritism and making the heart softer toward that person and affects the way you deal with them. If receiving these gifts affects the decision to award or sign contracts or harm your company or other companies trying to win that contract or give unjust competitiveness to one party, then it is not allowed. If it does not have such effects and the employer allows it, then there is no harm and nothing wrong with taking such tips regardless of the amount, as long as it is given willingly to you. This is usually the case with tips offered in restaurants and similar services, where people tip workers as a form of thanks and appreciation, and the management allows them to receive it. We had another question regarding the workplace and businesses. And the viewer is asking, I work for a company that has immoral business practices, and it is not always fair with our customers. I have tried to get another job, but times are hard now and I cannot find anything else. I want to quit, but I cannot leave my family without money and support. What do you suggest I do? Dear viewer, this is a delicate situation. You need to be honest with yourself, your family, and your company. I can give you general advice, but it is up to you to decide how to best approach this important matter. You didn't tell us what you mean by their immoral business practices, so the answer will be more general. First of all, are you sure of your company's dishonesty, or you only think or presume? Dishonesty is a grave mistake and serious misconduct. It is an atrocious crime against those who trusted you. Allah the Almighty says, O believers, do not betray the trust of Allah and His Messenger, nor violate your trusts knowingly. Surah Al-Anfal 8, verse 27. Observing the trust is one of the requirements of Muslim. Allah the Almighty says, when describing the mu'minun or believers, those who faithfully observe their trusts and their covenants. Surah Al-Mu'minun 23, verse 8. Betraying the trust is considered one of the traits of non-believers. Allah the Almighty says about them, they are those with whom you did make a covenant, but they break their covenant every time, and they have not the fear of Allah. Surah Al-Anfal 8, verse 56. If you are sure about their dishonesty, you must inform the management and refrain from taking part in any of their dishonest practices. If the whole business is based on such immoral practices, you should quit and not be part of such business. If you quit such immoral business for the sake of Allah the Almighty, He will compensate you and He will facilitate for you another job that is better, inshallah, as the Messenger ﷺ said. If you do not feel at ease with the matter, then leave it for the sake of Allah the Almighty. The Prophet ﷺ said, consult your heart and consult yourself. He said it 3 times. Righteousness is that with which the soul feels at ease and the heart feels tranquil. And wrongdoing is that which wavers in the soul and causes uneasiness in the chest, even though people have repeatedly given their legal opinion in its favor again and again. Dear viewer, if you are in doubt of something, then take the Prophet's advice and leave it off and rest your mind and heart. The Prophet ﷺ said, what is lawful is evident, and what is unlawful is evident. And in between them, there are things doubtful, which many people do not know. So he who guards against doubtful things keeps his religion and honor blameless. And he who indulges in doubtful things indulges, in fact, eventually in unlawful things, just as a shepherd who graces his animals around a preserve will soon graze them inside it. Beware, every king has a preserve, and the things Allah has declared unlawful are His preserves. Beware, in the body there is a piece of flesh. If it is good, then the whole body is good, and if it is corrupt, then the whole body is corrupt, and that is the heart, as reported by Muslim. And Allah knows best. Dear viewers, it's time now for a break, but please stay with us. More of your questions to come. See you soon. Welcome back. Brothers and sisters, we have dedicated our time in this episode to answering your questions and topics. And we're blessed to have time to respond to a few more. We have few questions relating to the Holy Quran and prayer. The viewer is asking, when it comes to the Holy Quran, is there more benefit to reading it or listening to best orators on tape? Their reading is much more beautiful than mine, so I feel the power of the words more. Dear viewer, dealing with the Holy Quran has many forms and levels. Listening or reciting are only the beginning. We cannot detail them all in this short time, but we may come back to it in our second season, inshallah. As for the particular point in your question, both reciting the Holy Quran yourself and listening to a recitation from another are great deeds. However, reciting the Holy Quran yourself is much better and more rewarding. As the Messenger ﷺ said, he who recites one letter from the Book of Allah, he will get one reward, and the reward is multiplied by 10. I do not say that Alif Lam Mim is one letter, but instead Alif is one letter, Lam is one letter, and Mim is one letter, as reported by At-Tirmidhi. Reciting the Holy Quran with understanding and pondering over the meanings entitles more benefits and more rewards from Allah the Almighty, as the Holy Quran was revealed for guidance. Nevertheless, you may combine both listening to another's recitations as well as reciting yourself, as the Messenger ﷺ used to listen to the recitation of his companions radiallahu anhum. That way, you'll have the rewards for recitation and listening, as well as correcting and improving your own recitations. Which brings us to our next question. And the viewer is asking, I want to know the Islamic rule on performing Jum'ah khutbah or speech in non-Arabic. Is it allowed in non-Arabic language? Dear viewer, there are few obligatory parts in the khutbah or Friday speech. It is important to be a believer with understanding. So when the audience do not understand Arabic, the khatib can say the few short obligatory parts in Arabic and then deliver the main speech in the other language so that people will benefit from it. The obligatory parts to be delivered in Arabic are praising Allah the Almighty, sending peace and blessing to the Messenger ﷺ, ordering Muslims to be righteous, to have taqwa or piety, reciting a single verse from the Holy Quran, making dua or prayer for the believers. There is no harm in delivering the main speech in a language that the audience understands, and in fact, that should be encouraged. People should also try their best to learn Arabic, as it is the language of the Holy Quran. Any idea, thought, law, or book needs a language, and the Holy Quran is no exception. For Islam, as a universal religion, Allah the Almighty selected the Arabic language. There are many important reasons for that, some of which are as follows. Arabic is arguably the vastest language with a huge vocabulary list. Arabic is expandable to incredible extremes through the use of roots and morphology according to logical rules. Arabic is a living language, unlike many dead languages. Arabic is also the only language that its speakers can still read and understand what is written over 1,400 years back. Arabic is very specific and precise, yet concise. It can convey main ideas and very fine details in very few words. Arabic is the only language that must be understood before it is read, and like almost all other languages, that must be read before they are understood. Some believe that Arabic is linked to the mother of all languages. Words of Arabic and of Arabic roots are found in almost all languages. Dear viewer, Arabic is a very beautiful language with huge resources and wide geographical area of native speakers. Arabic also has many unique characteristics, enabling it to remain a living and practical language. And now our final question for the day. The viewer is asking, if any imam does not follow the Sharia limit of beard, is it permissible to perform salah behind him? Dear viewer, keeping a beard is highly recommended in Islam, as the Prophet ﷺ ordered Muslim men to let their beard grow and not shave it off. Throughout most of Islamic history, growing a beard was a sign of scholars and religious people, while shaving it is a recently induced behavior. According to many scholars, shaving the beard is forbidden. But nevertheless, this does not mean that those who shave off their beards cannot be good practicing Muslims. Although beard is an important apparent feature of a Muslim, there are many far more important practical aspects to being a good Muslim, and we have mentioned many of them throughout this season. It is permissible to pray behind someone who shaves off his beard. Yet, it is better if you can appoint someone who adheres to the Islamic form and keeps his beard as well. Dear viewers, this brings us to the end of our current season. I have very much enjoyed being able to share the faith with you all. Remember, you can watch all our previous shows online at dmi.ae/Dubai1. And some of our favorite episodes will be repeating throughout the summer. We will be back with big new show in Ramadan, inshallah, when we'll be sharing in the joy and reflection of the holy month with you. See you then. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you and the mercy of Allah and His grace.